and they encourage a lot is to know your why. Why am I doing this? And to always keep that in the back of your mind when you're being tested different times. Hey guys, and thank you for coming to visit me again. So, I just want to get into some things I wish I knew before I joined the Navy. So, let's get into it. And if you guys stay tuned, I have 3 things that I wish I knew as a female. Ladies, stick with me to the end. Number 1, they have church services you can go to. So you think boot camp is just like strenuous, hard, working out, just doing everything they tell you to do. But also on Sunday, it's called like a field day. And so they allow you to go to church services. They offer Christianity, Buddhism, they have Catholic service, they also have Protestant service. So not only do you have all these hard things, you feel like you lose yourself, you do have an opportunity to go ahead and go to your spiritual beliefs. So I love that. And it gave me a break to get out of that compartment with those 60 girls. Number 2, you can take personal items, but not your phone. Do not take your phone, you will get caught. With that being said, soon as you get into the boot camp gates and you're in the doors and they're drilling and yelling at you, so you have the option to take like some medicines, any personal hygiene items. So if you have like sensitive skin, do feel free to go ahead and stash that away in like what they call, it's like your box. You do have a chance to make phone calls. Now, it's not the Air Force. I heard the Air Force, they get the call for any little reason. So you do get a chance to make phone calls to your family, and you'll get like a little card. You'll put an X amount of minutes on it, and you'll be able to call back home. And so this usually was rewarded every 2 weeks. If we listened, if we worked as a team, and if we were on good behavior, basically. Sounds like jail, I know. Biggest advice, it's not something that I wish I knew, but like to other girls, like please be fit, because if you're not fit, you're going to be pushed back behind in your training. You're going to boot camp, so at least try to at least jog every so often, or do what you need to do so that you won't make your whole entire division look bad. Something that I wish I knew is they have like chits for everything, and basically what these chits are like an authorization to basically allows for you to be an exemption. So some people had like cold chit had either low iron, so like when everybody had a certain uniform, they were allowed to wear their like jacket because they had a cold chit. Some people have no shave chits because when they have like men, if you like get ingrown hairs like when you shave, then you would be able to go to medical and get a shave chit. And some people had shoe chits, like if I don't know, something wacky was going on with your feet, you would go to medical and you would get a shoe chit. And so that will authorize you to have a different pair of shoes. You would go to the next, which is Navy Exchange Center, where they have like all discounted prices, and you would have like a fresh pair of Nikes while we all had on these ugly Go Fasters. But yeah, there's a chit for everything. Medical assistance is allowed anytime. However, if you do go to medical anytime, you will be pushed back in your training. So you will have to catch up. If you missed a class, you will have to go to that class later. So if you didn't want to be with the group and if you want to go to medical, like you totally could, but you will have to play catch up basically. You're allowed more than one chance at anything. So boot camp is super serious and you think it's like end all be all, but you get multiple chances to recuperate yourself. So that goes for any test. If you failed a test, you think you're about to get pushed back, no, you have another chance to do better on that test. Now, it doesn't make you look like as good, but you do have a chance to retake that test. And I think with the test, they do an average of the two to be your final score. With your evolution, so anytime you would have to do like a divisional group activity and use teamwork, if you personally failed that, then you would either do it with another group or you Or like say you missed it, you would just do it with another division. But in any of these instances, you definitely get a second chance. So with fitness, like a lot of people fail their run. I don't know how. That's why it's important to be fit, just a little bit. And like with your run, if you fail it once, you have a chance to take it again and maybe again. But that's just some FYI. Sleeping is unacceptable. Like in class, you will be called out. You will have to stand in the back of the classroom because they look at it as like this is basically job orientation. And so, job orientation, you want to be on your P's and Q's at all times and you want to be the best out of the best. So, they're training you because a lot of people that's in Navy boot camp are usually like kids coming out of high school. So, I shouldn't say kids. I want to say young adults. Young adults coming out of high school. And so they're teaching you that it's unacceptable to sleep because when you're on a job, you cannot sleep. When you're the Navy, when you're serving the country, you cannot sleep. So they drill that really hard. So even when we're just in the compartment, just chilling out, you cannot sleep. One thing that I stress and cannot stress enough is to ask questions. If you do not understand something, ask. If you think you're being annoying, it doesn't matter. Ask your question because you're going to get in more trouble not asking and messing something up rather than just asking the question so that you can get it corrected. So, for instance, I could have sworn my RDC, who was like in charge of my division, she told us to stencil. We have to stencil so much, which I'm going to tell you more about in the bootcamp video, but I'm waiting on my friend. My friend is currently vacationing and on leave without me. It's totally fine. So, we're going to have to wait on that video. But I could have sworn she told us to stencil a certain way and I didn't. And she was just like, "Are you serious right now? You are serious." And I'm just like, like, what am I saying? What's going on? And she was just like, out of everyone, like, you're the only person that stenciled it wrong. And she was just like, so you just think that, like, if, because she is a AO, which manages like bombs and stuff, she was like, if you think I assume something, you think it would be okay if a bomb was to just detonate and go off. And I'm just like, like internally, but externally, I'm just like, my apologies, you know? And so I just emphasize to always ask questions. So another thing I wish I knew was about the jobs that they offer in boot camp. So you have a RPOC, which is like right underneath the RDCs, and they are in charge of keeping the division in order. And then you have an AROC, the one who calls cadence for like when we go marching. And then you have like a MA, which is basically a master at arms who makes sure everybody is being quiet, they're in place, everything's clean. And so what these jobs do is for you to basically show off your leadership skills. And this also will help you later on when it comes to like being referred to something or just for any awards. So another thing that I wish I knew and kind of was better at was just military bearing. Like everything is so stoic from the moment you are at boot camp. Like you are in that role of, like I mentioned earlier, that job orientation. Who is the best fit for this job? And if you are not playing that role, you will be called out. So just being super stoic and sincere about your work and asking questions and putting your best foot forward is the best way to go. Another thing I wish I knew, which I kind of did have some type of insight about, is rewards. So, out of all this, getting the top scores, doing well on your dress inspections, doing well on your fitness, doing well on your test, there is a chance for honors graduate. And you will be announced in front of everybody and their families on graduation day. So as you're going through the boot camp, keep in mind that you can go up for honors graduate. Now, I didn't graduate honors in high school, and then I wasn't like cum laude, all that good stuff in college. So I made it my goal to be an honors graduate in the Navy. That didn't happen either, so God has other plans. Another thing I wish I knew, going into boot camp, you really have to have a strong mentality. You will be tested over and over, and it's not only by those appointed over you, but it's also by all these females around you. So you definitely have to go in with a strong mentality, having some type of faith or having something that you're fighting for. And they encourage a lot is to know your why. Why am I doing this? And to always keep that in the back of your mind when you're being tested different times. Like I mentioned earlier, you do get phone calls, and kind of in coordinates with having those phone calls, you do have like shopping days basically. And that's for any of your personal hygiene. So if you need toothpaste, if you need bath wash, if you need any uniform items, you do have a chance to go to the next, which is that Navy exchange where everything is kind of discounted prices for your typical items. But since you're in the Navy, you get it at a discounted price. So you have those days too, which is super awesome. And you do set up like your bank account so you'll have money to spend. If not, your family can like send you money like to the next when you get letters in the mail. Another thing I wish I knew before I joined Navy boot camp, before I started Navy boot camp, is everything is documented. From the moment you belong to the Navy, everything is getting documented, from what's going on, when you ate, what your test scores were, what grades you got. Everything is being documented. So keep in mind what you're doing and how you are impacting everyone else around you or influencing everyone else around you. Now I'm going to go into the 3 things like I wish I knew as a female going into the Navy. So as a female, you will be supplied with like feminine care such as like pads and tampons. You will have those. They will provide those for you. So they tell you to bring your own, but I literally didn't use any that I brought myself, because when you first get into boot camp, they're going to supply you with all your clothes. You're going to have your sports bras, you're going to have panties, you're going to have like your Smurfs, like your sweatpants, and all of your like basic uniform items. And on top of that, they're going to make you pay for like tampons and pads. So it's not necessary that you bring your own, even though like your recruiter tells you to. You don't have to, because you will be supplied those, and they're going to make you pay for it at the end. So just brace yourself. And number 2, you are going to be with women from all ages, from all over the country, and you're going to have to work together. And you're going to have to be willing to listen, compromise, and just be a good shipmate. At the end of the day, it's about the Navy's mission. And my favorite and my last tip that I knew before I went into Navy boot camp is you can bring makeup. So you do have 2 photo ops. You have one in your dress blues, which is just your personal headshot. And then you have another group photo with your entire division. And so you can wear makeup on those days. They don't really encourage falsies. My RDC was a hard A, and she did not, like, she called our RPOC out, like, no ma'am, go back in and go take those off. So you can wear makeup, so have fun with it. And yeah, so thanks guys for listening to the things I wish I knew before I went to Navy boot camp. And just stay tuned for my actual boot camp experience. I'm going to have 2 more of my friends, my closest friends, and we're just going to go through how our experience was, from both a female perspective and from a male perspective. And thanks once again. If you have any questions, if I missed out on anything, just drop a comment below, and just keep the love coming, and I'll make sure I will adhere to all the requests and needs of you guys. Thank you so much. Mwah.